Hey everyone, Cruising with JT here, and it's my absolute honor and pleasure to be interviewing today the one, the only Captain Paulo Rico of the Sun Princess.
How you doing, all?
Yes.
Ciao.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to mention before we get started with some of the questions is I got to, see Captain Paulo last night at the piazza
Yeah,
during
the welcome party.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like, your energy and your personality, and I'm like, I'm gonna really enjoy meeting with him tomorrow, because it's like, I mean, all captains are great too, but like, you have like a different level of energy and just your passion, and you're funny,
And I'm not paying you to say that.
no, and you're cracking the jokes with some of the ladies on the side and stuff.
Yeah.
It was too funny.
But it's funny because I change. I don't prepare the speech. I never prepare a speech because I usually play depending on the energy that I feel from the guest. So it changes every time, and I get I suck in the energy from the one that the guests are giving me. Sometimes you get a little bit more flat, so it's a little bit harder. But when they're actually quite responsive, like they were last night, it's actually quite enjoyable. I do enjoy it.
No, so it was a great show. I just wanted to start the video with that, and I really appreciate that. And then I'm super energetic as well, just like you. So I really enjoyed it, and I got to see you briefly this morning on the bridge, and then here we are for a quick 5-10 minute some couple questions to learn about you, so that way myself and everyone else can learn about how awesome you are and just about the princess journey. So all right, guys, let's go and get started. So the first question for you, Captain, is how long have you been a captain, and how long with Princess Cruises?
Okay, well, I've been with Princess since 1998, January, so nearly close to 27?
26, 27 years, yeah.
27 years, very soon. And I started as a deck AB, so which is a sailor. Because the normal routine would have been starting as a cadet. That would be the first step. But back then in 1998, they wouldn't hire a cadet because they were full. So the only way to get into the company was to start from the very bottom, which was a sailor. So I was chipping, painting. It was fun times, and I loved every minute of it. And then ultimately I became captain in 2017. I actually promoted in 2016, first command in 2017 on the Sea Princess.
Okay.
So it's been an enjoyable ride so far.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then it's always nice to see the journey everyone took to get to where they are, right? And I guess my next question is, what made you decide to be a captain in your career? Like having a life at sea?
Okay, so this could take a while. So I think, if I remember correctly, I decided to be that I wanted to be a captain since I was probably 5. I'm the third generation with Princess. My grandfather was in Princess when the Princess was founded in the 60s, mid-60s, and he was an executive chef.
Wow. Then
my father also was an executive chef with Princess, then became F&B director, and I thought in the family there was too many cooks. So, and I always wanted to drive it, and I still have the passion for cooking because I do a lot of cooking. It's my Instagram, probably. I don't know if you've checked that out.
I'm gonna follow you for sure. Right. Is it just Captain Paulo?
It's the real upload captain, because I did have a bit of experience in the TV show, because I was the captain in the real upload reality dating show.
Gosh, okay.
It was broadcast by Paramount, and it was on CBS. So I had that little experience, which is an amazing one as well. And so I decided I wanted to be a captain ever since I can remember, and I count myself very fortunate to be one of those few people that they be able to do the child dream job. Since, here I am.
You always you ask, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you said at 5, like, I want to be a captain.
I never wanted to be anything else.
But look at that, here you are, right? I'm one of the world's most amazing ships, Princess New ships, and she's a beauty. Like I've only been on it for a couple days, but I love it, and I'm excited to be here.
You should come on for the whole cruise.
I know,
you don't get to experience the whole venue.
I know, right? No, but I mean, we've been running around like crazy, but it's been an awesome experience, right? Not much sleep. I'll sleep on the plane or at the airport. It's all good.
Exactly.
Now, I want to ask you, what has been the most challenging experience for you while at sea? Like, has there been like something that may have happened, like, oh, that was challenging, and then you always remember it during your career?
Well, challenges, there have been a few in the past. Some are related to bad weather, some are related to medical emergency, like a little bit like the one that we had yesterday, but more critical, and we were able to save the day there. So you never get bored with this job. So there's always going to be challenges from many different directions and for many different reasons. So, but the beauty overall, that the structure that we have on board is made in such way that it's never one-man show. So we always have an amazing team. I have an amazing team that I work with, and it's always a teamwork that brings the results at home at the end of the day. And I'm retain myself very fortunate to be working with such an amazing group of people, like my staff captain, the hotel general manager, the chief technical officer, and I couldn't be more fortunate to have such an amazing and skilled group of people.
They say teamwork makes the dream work, right? Again, you gotta have a great team to support you, and then with that team support and how great you guys are, that creates the customer experience, and the guests will always remember it, right? So it's really awesome. So what advice would you give aspiring captains as they begin their journey from like the bottom to get to where you are?
I think what I would tell an aspiring captain is to look after the crew. I want to say the captain is nothing without the crew, and to go around and interact, and even little gesture, sometimes just like pat on the shoulder or something, it goes a long way, and you get so much more. You get so much more respect out of it, And probably because I started from the very bottom, and I was I was one of them. He helped me appreciate more their work and the actual management. And I always thought that if I would ever got there, to always look after them and making sure they will feel the presence, they will feel supported by their captains and supervisors and managers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very nice. Now, we talked about the challenging at sea. What's been the most rewarding experience for you at sea? I know there's probably a lot of them, but is there one that's just like, that was the most amazing experience?
But probably the most rewarding one so far, besides the actual promotion to captain, it has been the assignment to this amazing ship. It's the flagship. It's so to me it was so far has been the pinnacle of my career, and I'm very humble and honored and privileged.
It's amazing. Now, what's the longest time you've been away from home, and where is home?
So home is in Sicily, Messina. And the longest time I've been away, if I remember correctly, would have been nearly 9 months at sea, and that was the time when I was the cadet, going to third officers, and I wanted to do that to reach enough sea times that when I would go back home, I will give the examinations for a mate license to be able to get promoted. So it's always been very ambitious to get my various
that's awesome.
targets.
That's so cool.
And
I love this. Right now, I saw the bridge earlier this morning, right? But from your perspective, like, what's the coolest feature on the bridge? I know it's not a little joystick, but like, if there's a cool thing that you just love about the bridge, because I've been on the Royal Princess and Discovery Princess bridge, and I had to meet the captains there too. But I walked into this bridge this morning, I'm like, wow, this is huge.
Yes.
But what's the coolest thing about the bridge that you think is like that just kind of separates it what other ships may not have, or just something that really puts it over the top?
Yeah.
About it?
That's a good one as well. The whole bridge on this ship has been a prototype, so it's nothing like we have had before. And when I first arrived on this ship, and I did 10 days of call it orientation, we call it handover. So it was overwhelming, because we've been coming for relatively conventional ships, and although the Royal class have introduced a new concept, but what we've been able to achieve with this layout of the bridge was simply mind-blowing. So I had to take a little bit of time to get used to the various displays and informations, and now that it grows on you after a little while anyway, and especially if because the actual instruments per se were the same on all the other ships. Is the layout and the actual the dimensions. It was like another screen on steroids. We had like 50-inch screen radar. So and it grows on you, and it's difficult to get back now to the various ships, and it's simply sometimes even when I'm overwhelmed with all the emails, and that's the administration side, I enjoy the list as a captain. I just take a break, I go on the bridge, I sit there on the chair, whereas the two officers are driving, I just and I decompress there on the bridge, and it just is my peaceful place.
No, that's awesome. Nice. And now, how many staff do you have working alongside you? When you're on the bridge, and also like around the clock when you're resting, like what's your total staff?
So it was currently we're running with 1,678.
But like with you directly like on the bridge?
From the bridge, whenever so there are different manning levels on the bridge. When we're on open seas, we always have 4 people, 2 officers and 2 lookouts. Lookouts / helmsmen. When we get in and out of ports or when in closed waters, we have 2 more, which is myself and the staff captain. Pretty much I will go in and out obviously whenever I can.
For sure.
But the classic manning when we get inside a port is myself, staff captain, 2 officers, the pilot, whenever the port actually has a pilot, and the 2 quartermaster. So those are the actual numbers that we deal with, and it's nice to work together again as a team and it works seamlessly. It flows, all the various synergies and cooperation with also the pilot is pretty cool.
Nice. I would ask you, do you take what's your favorite place to vacation, and do you take a cruise for a holiday?
Yeah, so I haven't yet taken a cruise for the holiday. I'm a little bit of a home lover, so I do like to stay home. Although my wife and my kids, they're always trying to push me away and to go out places. But when you're away for 3 months and you go back home, that's the place you want to be. But I totally understand this. So place to vacation, again, I would say home, because I'm fortunate enough to live in a place that other people call vacation. In Sicily, I live right on the water edge, and it doesn't get any better than that. So I feel again find myself very fortunate in this circumstance.
Nice. Now, have you been the captain of Sun Princess since she was sailing, or was?
So the ship came out end of February, and took command the beginning of April.
Oh wow!
So we share the time with Captain Crick's 3.
Yes, that's right.
And we do 3 months on, 3 months off. So in Princess, every ship has 2 captains assigned. We share time equally. So we do 3 months on, 3 months off, and it works amazingly.
Wonderful. And then, do you have a favorite place to eat on board?
To eat on board? Yes, I do, but I don't want to upset everybody by saying one other. That's the thing. It's very difficult to pick because of the amazing restaurants that are around, and so I force myself to be very disciplined when it comes to eat, because otherwise, if I give into all these restaurants and stuff, I think I would have to change uniforms every other week because of the expansions of the waistline, which is called sea swell.
Okay, well, Captain Paulo, am I pronouncing it right? Is it Paulo?
Paulo, yes.
Captain Paulo, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. You guys, like I said, if you get a chance to come on the beautiful Sun Princess, again, first in its class ship, Sphere class ship on Princess Cruises, be sure to see Captain Paulo. He's amazing, his staff is amazing, and everyone on board is super friendly, and this is truly the Princess Cruises difference. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. And a special shout out to all my Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you so much for your additional support. If you'd like to become a Patreon or YouTube member, I'll include the links in the description below. It's basically a behind-the-scenes view of cruising with JT and special access to various benefits and perks and inside information into my upcoming videos. So if you do decide to join, I truly appreciate your support.